Hello and welcome to the IP Study video lecture. The chapter we are going to cover today is diversity in the living world. The topics covered in this chapter are diversity around us, grouping of plants, grouping of animals, habitat of plants and animals. So, when you come to the school or going back to the school, from the school, you might have seen different plants and animals. You might have seen dog, cat, different plants like neem plants or even banyan tree or jamun plant, any plant. What all these are? Well, all these plants and animals surrounding us, including us, form the diversity. Today, we are going to learn about biodiversity and different aspects of diversity in detail. First is diversity around us. All the varieties of plants and animals you are seeing around yourself is biodiversity. It is the biodiversity of the particular area, which means different area might have different type of biodiversity. For example, plants and animals of mountain region is different from the plants and animals of the desert region. So the biodiversity of the mountain region is different from the biodiversity of the desert region. Let us start with grouping of plants. If you have noticed, there are different features which can help us to differentiate between different types of plants. If I place one plant in front of you, for example, if I place this simple plant in front of you and ask you about the different features of this plant, what will you say? You can simply say that plant is green in color, it has red color fruits, it has yellow flowers, it has leaves, right? So grouping of plant is basically done based on their physical appearance. For anything to differentiate or for anything to identify, first we go for its physical features. Like if I ask you to tell me about your friend or whom I have never met, or to describe me your classmate or your benchmate, what will you say? You will say that this and that person is my benchmate. His or her name is this, and its appearance is like that: black hairs, big eyes, short height, and all. So plants and animals are also categorized like this only. First, we go to the plants. To categorize the plant, you need to understand its structure, because most of the categorization is based on its physical structure. Look at this plant. This is a stem of the plant. These are leaves. This is fruit. This is flower. At the bottom of the stem, there is a structure called root. Let us first group plant based on its stem size. So, depending on the thickness, height, and hardness of the stem, plants are grouped as herbs, shrubs, trees, climbers, and creepers. So, what are herbs? Herbs are very small plants which have soft and green stems and small leaves. These plants are basically seasonal. Seasonal means if you grow that plant this year and they give the fruits, after that they are of no use. They can go for 1 year only. Their life is for 1 year. They live only for 1 year. Some common examples are grass, mint, coriander, and spinach. Another category is shrubs. Shrubs are also small plants, but they are bigger than herbs. They are thin, woody stem, and they have several branches. They can live for a few years. Some common examples are hibiscus, jasmine, rose, cotton, and henna. Another category of plant is trees. They are big, tall, and strong plants. They have thick, hard, and woody stem. Their stem is known as trunk. This trunk is covered by a thick skin known as bark. These trees have several branches, they have very deep roots. They can live for many years compared to herbs and shrubs. Herbs can go for 1 year only, whereas trees go for many years. Common examples are neem, palm, apple, mango, and coconut. If you have seen any mango tree or a coconut tree, you can see how hard they are. If you touch their stem, you will feel a coarse appearance in your hand, rough appearance. That roughness is due to the thick skin, which is known as bark. Another category of plant is climber. Climbers are the plants which have weak stem. They are not very big plants compared to the trees, but they have very weak stem. They need a support. They cannot stand straight. If you see this plant, this is climber. It always needs a stick or a wall support to move along. Otherwise, they die. These common examples are grapevine, bee, pea plant, and money plant. Similar to climbers, there are creepers. Creepers also have weak stem, but they do not need any stick to erect. The reason being they have very large fruits which cannot be supported by any plant. They creep on the ground, they move along the ground. Common examples are pumpkin, muskmelon, watermelon, gourd, and cucumber. If you see carefully, this plant is climber which need a stick to move along. However, if you see this pumpkin plant, it is a creeper. It moves along the ground. It cannot stand erect. Apart from stems, leaf can also help in grouping the plants based on the leaf venation. What is venation? Venation is the arrangement of veins on the leaf. Let me show you what is venation. This is leaf. This structure is known as vein. These vein forms two type of patterns. This pattern help in grouping the plants. There are two types of venations, reticulate venation and parallel venation. Reticulate venation is a net-like design, whereas parallel venations show the arrangement of veins on the leaves parallelly. The central vein, this central vein of the leaf is known as midrib, right? So, if in the leaf net-like structure is formed, a network formation is made by leaves, then this network formation is reticulate venation. If in the similar leaf, this is midrib, and when venation is parallel like this, parallel to the midrib, then this kind of venation is known as parallel venation. This is reticulate. You can look at the structure. This is reticulate, this is parallel. Another category of grouping is based on the root type. In plants, there are two types of root system, taproot system and fibrous root system. So, what is taproot system? In taproot system, there is a single main branch. Along with there are smaller lateral branches. If you can focus on the image, you can easily see the difference between both the system. This is taproot system, this is fibrous root system. In taproot system, you can see the main branch followed by other lateral branch. However, in fibrous root system, there is no main branch. Several branches are emerging from the common point. Common example of taproot system are castor, pea, mango, gram, and beans. Common example of fibrous root system is wheat, maize, rice, barley, and grasses. Similarly, plants can be categorized based on the presence of seed type. There are two broad categories of the seed that are monocotyledonous seeds and dicotyledonous seed. So what are monocotyledonous seeds? These are the seeds which contain only one cotyledon. What is cotyledon? Cotyledon is the seed leaf. Let me show you. This structure in the seed is known as cotyledon. Based on number of cotyledon, the seeds can be grouped. Common example of monocotyledonous seeds are wheat, maize, rice, barley. Common example of dicotyledonous seeds are beans, peas, sunflowers, and peanuts. Now that you have learned about all the categories of the plants, do you find any relationship between them? Do you think there is any connection between the categories or grouping of the plants? Well, there is connection between leaf venation, root type, and number of cotyledons. If I show you this plant, this is the wheat plant, and ask you about its features, what will you say? You will say that leaves have parallel venation, roots are fibrous, and plants bear monocotyledon seeds. So, all the plants which have monocotyledon seeds bear fibrous root and have leaves with parallel venation. Similarly, all the plants which have dicotyledonous seeds bear leaf venation reticulate and the root type is taproot. Let us now learn about grouping of animals. Grouping of animals can be done based on their physical features and based on their movement. Physical features include their body shape, their body type, their body coat color, their hairs, their horns, and based on their movement, we can also categorize them. Some of the animals can fly, some creep on the ground, some can walk on four limbs. Another category is habitat of plants and animals. Plants and animals are present all over the world. But do you think their living condition is also same all over the world? Well, no. There are different living habitat where plants and animals live. Some live in forests, some in grassland, some in ponds, while others live in polar region and desert. So what is habitat? The place where plants and animals live is called its habitat. For example, habitat of sea turtle is ocean, habitat of camel is desert, whether it is hot or cold. Habitat of rhododendron is mountain region. Habitat plays crucial role in all the living beings' life. Reason being, habitat is important to supply the essential needs for their survival, such as food, water, air, and shelter. In a single habitat, multiple plants and animal species can coexist together. The characteristic of one habitat can be different from other habitat. The impact of habitat is that to survive in a particular habitat, plants and animals develop certain characteristics. Based on those characteristics, those special features which allow them to survive in their habitat is known as adaptations. Different animals shows different type of adaptations. For example, in Shola forest of Nilgiris, rhododendron plants are shorter, have smaller leaves to adapt the harsh condition of the mountain top. However, same plant category when found in the mountain near Sikkim, these plants are taller in size. You can observe the image of these two rhododendron. They belong to two different regions. If I ask you to identify them, so what is the first thing you can see? You can see the color of flowers. In one area it is peach in color, in other area it is dark pink in color. So, how many type of habitat can you tell me? Okay, habitats are mainly grouped into three categories: terrestrial, aquatic, and aerial and arboreal. Let us start with terrestrial habitat. Can you guess about your habitat? What is your habitat? Since we live on land, so our habitat is terrestrial habitat. There are different type of terrestrial habitat: desert, grassland, mountains, and forest. If you are living in areas in India like Rajasthan, then you might find yourself in a desert habitat. If you go to the hill stations, you might be in a mountain habitat. So even on the terrestrial habitat, there are different categories of habitat where living beings stay. Let us start with forest and grassland habitat. What are forests? Well, forests are the large areas of land covered by big trees. These are home to several wild animals like lions, tigers, jackal, and foxes. They are also home to large trees such as sandal, teak, palash. You know, palash is also known as flame of the forest. Why it is known as flame of the forest? Because it consists of flowers which are bright red and orange in color. When this flower blooms, forest appears like it is flaming, it is burning. That beauty gives its name as flame of the forest. What are grassland? Grassland are the areas covered by grasses. The height, size or shape of the grass may vary from few centimeters to couple of feet. The common animals found in grassland are elephant, giraffe, deer, zebra, rhinoceros. Some common examples of grasses found in grassland are cornflowers and milkweed. So, how do animals survive in the forest? Well, to survive in the forest or grassland, prey are the animals which are hunted by larger animals. These larger animals are known as predators. So, prey like deer, to survive in the grassland or forest habitat, have features such as strong teeth to cut down the plants. They possess strong legs so that they can run away from their predators. Similarly, predators also have some special features which help them survive in the forest or grassland. This includes their body color. For example, lion blend in its surrounding with the help of its color so that it can easily hunt its prey. They have sharp teeth and claws to tear away the skin of their prey. Another category is desert habitat. What are desert? Desert are the large areas covered with the sand. They have very limited vegetation and their condition is arid. They receive very scanty or no rainfall in temperature, and they have very high temperature during the day and low temperature during the night. So if you visited any desert area, even you go to the Rajasthan region, visit the Thar desert, you may experience a very colder feeling at the night but very hotter during the day. If I ask you to give me any common example of the desert animal of the desert area, what will you say? Your first example will be camel. Anybody can easily say that camels are found in the desert area. Another animal found in desert areas are snakes, vultures and rats. Some common plants found in this region are cacti, camel thorn trees, grasses and other low shrubs. So what helps camel to survive in the desert region? What are its special features which allow them to survive in the desert area? As you already know, desert area has limited water and limited food available for any living being to survive. However, camel flourish in that area. What helps camel to flourish? Well, let's understand special features of camel. They have a hump which stores the fat. They conserve water in themselves. They have long legs which protect them from the desert heat. They have padded feet which protect them from sinking in the sand. They have long eyelashes and nostril hairs which protect their eyes and nose from the sand going inside them. Apart from camel, cactus can also easily survive in the desert habitat. What are their features to support their living in this condition? Cactus have fleshy stem. Look at this image. If you can see, it is a type of cactus, and this cactus, this whole structure is a stem. Previously, you have already seen what are the stems and how different type of plants have different type of stem. Similarly, the whole body of a cactus is a stem. Whole visible body. They do have a roots, but we cannot see in this picture. This whole structure is their stem. Their leaves are reduced to spine to reduce the water loss. They can survive long droughts. They store water in their stem. They have a waxy coating on the stem. The whole stem is covered with a wax to prevent the evaporation. Another category of habitat is mountain habitat. Mountains are the region which consists of long stretches of hills. Common animals found in this region are yaks, mountain goats, snow leopards. Common plants found in this region are pine, spruce and fir. Plants like deodar have several adapted features. Look at this image. This is the image of the deodar plant. They have several features which allow them to survive in the mountainous region. Let us understand what are these features. These features are they have needle-like leaves. Their leaves appears as needle to minimize the water loss. They have since there is cold and dry air which can take away the water from the plants. To protect them from this thing, they have very needle-like leaves. Apart from them, they have sloping branches which allow the snow fall down. So this sliding of the snow can help in preventing the damage during the winter season. Their roots are very strong so that they can anchor in the rocky soil. And their bark is also very thick to protect them from the harsh winds and cold temperature. So similar to the plants, animals also have certain features which support their survival in the mountain region. Animals like mountain goats have special features such as hooves equipped with the rough pad which provide excellent grip on steep and rocky surfaces. They have thick fur. You can observe the image. It has such a thick fur which protects them from the cold temperature. If this thick fur provides them warmness. Their legs are powerful which enable them to run on the region from one hill to another hill and protect them from their predator. So the another category is aquatic habitat. Earlier when we have studied desert, mountain, forest and grassland, we are studying the terrestrial habitat. Now we are going to aquatic habitat. The plants and animals which live in the water form the aquatic habitat. Common examples of aquatic habitat are ponds, lakes, rivers and oceans. Some common animals found in this region are frogs and fish. Frogs can live both in water and on land, so they are also known as amphibians. While other animals like fish, octopus, shark, whales, crocodiles and turtles, all these animals live solely in the water, so they are aquatic animals. Certain plants like water lily, lotus, water celery, hydrilla, duckweed, all these are water plants. So what are the special features of aquatic animals which can help them survive in the water? So what are the features of a fish which allow it to survive in the water? Well, fish have adaptations like streamlined bodies. What are streamlined body? Streamlined body is tapered from both the end and broader in the center. If you can observe this image, you can see that fish has very tapering, very narrow endings at both the side, and it has a broader center part. This reduces the resistance allow them to swim quickly in water. They also have fins. These are the fins. which allow them to steer, balance and move forward, while their tail, this is the tail portion of the fish which is very powerful and give them thrust, give them propulsion to move here and there. Another category of habitat is aerial and arboreal habitats. So what are aerial habitat? Aerial habitat refers to the environment where animals such as birds, bats and butterflies move through the air. So all the animals found in the air, all the animals which are flying are forming the aerial habitat. And what are arboreal habitats? So animals which are live on the trees form the arboreal habitat, and these animals are known as arboreal animals. Common examples are monkeys, squirrel, koalas and sloth. Now that we have covered all the habitats, let us recall each one of them one by one. Plants and animals in the area form their biodiversity. Based on the stem size, plants can be classified as herbs, shrubs, trees, climbers and creepers. There are two types of seeds found in the plants, which is monocotyledons and dicotyledons. Animals can move in various ways. Based on their movement, they can be categorized and grouped easily. Different types of habitats include terrestrial habitat, which have forest, grassland, desert and mountain. Another category is aquatic habitat, which include ponds, lakes, rivers and oceans. Aerial animals move through the air, while arboreal animals live on the trees. Arboreal animals have special features called strong limbs and tails. Both plants and animals have unique features which allow them to stay in their habitat. That's all for today. We will continue in another lecture with another topic. Thank you.